These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Mark Z via PDK question. Can the RV happen before March 11th fiat/asset backed flip? Mark Z says, I don't know anything about that date, but it's anticipated to happen soon. Can it happen before that date? Absolutely, especially what is happening this week. Monday already was a huge day. All right, Mountain Goat article quote, NATO confirmed that Tuesday that Iraq is a regional leader in the region and is today more secure and stable. Quote, the NATO mission is an advisory mission, not a combat mission, and that Iraq is a regional leader in the region and is safer today and stability. Unquote. Mountain Goat says this was nice to hear that they believe Iraq is safer and stable. This is what we need. Frank 26, Iraq boots on the ground report Firefly. Sudani says Iraq is on the verge of transformation process. Frank says transforming from a program rate to a sovereign national rate. Every day, Sudani is pointing in the direction of your new exchange rate or your new national currency. Every day he tells you there's a transaction, from a program rate to an international rate. Pimpy says changing the exchange rate has a huge impact on inflation, imports, and exports. I think Iraq can easily go up in increments. This will allow them to really monitor the inflation. This will also increase the quality of life for the Iraqi people. Militiaman says 1310 is not a real effective exchange rate. I don't think the largest accounting firms in the world would be dealing with this at this time, which they've never done before. We've never ever seen the Central Bank of Iraq talk about the 13 big accounting firms, and they have now. Mark Z via PDK, bank story from Canada. My brother went to a Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, or CIBC, in Saskatoon, establishing his new bank account. My brother said he had several devalued currencies. Then he asked them if they were aware of the RV we are waiting on. She replied, yes, I am. I can't say anything else. I am under an NDA from the bank. Mark Z said, so they cannot give any details, but they are ready. Frank 26, Georgia bank story, bank visitor. Today I went to a bank called Truist in Georgia. I asked the financial advisor, you mind if I get a minute? I'd like to ask you a few questions. She said, yeah. I said, I've been banking with this bank for a long time. Have you heard of the Iraqi Dinar? She got quiet. She said, well, I know there are things happening in Iraq, yes. I can't really tell you anything, but if you want to ask me some questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. Frank says, bingo. Bank visitor said, are you guys going to be exchanging the Iraqi dinar? She said, well, we will not be exchanging the Iraqi dinar, but we will take it and send it off for you to have it exchanged. I said, I don't know. I want that to happen without knowing who that might be. And she said, I can't tell you, but I can answer your question. I said, well, is Chase Bank part of that? She said, yes. I said, what about Bank of America? She said, yes. Frank said, the answers she's given you, in my opinion, are spot on. Frank said, did you ask her if they're going to have a fee to exchange? The bank visitor said, yeah. I said, if I was to exchange here, what is the fee you would charge me? She said, from my understanding, there will not be a fee for people, especially of a certain caliber. Frank said, bingo. Bank visitor said, she said, we can discuss that more at an appropriate time, probably not too far in the future. All right, this is from Guru Fanun Lu. They do not have a massive amount of dinar with which to deal. Small incremental increases of value over time will guarantee failure, and all the many billions of dollars spent and man hours wasted will for naught. It is more likely they will come out high on the exchange rate, let it fall until it finds equilibrium, instead of creeping upwards in 2% measures every 90 days over decades. Meanwhile, everyone loses faith in the GOI, riots, starves to death. Small increments over time makes absolutely no sense and is illogical. Sampson has an article quote, a senior U.S. Treasury official travels to Iraq to counter illicit finance. Mark Zevia, PDK, article quote, Burhan Nasser Mohammed Al-Namrel sworn in as Iraq's new parliament speaker. Mark Z says this one is important. It has been rumored in some circles for a few months that he was a stickler for moving forward with the white papers and rate change. I'm taking this as a good sign. Claire article quote, the U.S. Treasury includes an Iraqi bank on the sanctions list. Quote, on Monday, the U.S. Treasury Department included the Iraqi Al-Huda Bank on the sanctions list as a source of major concern regarding money laundering because it acts as a channel for financing terrorism by Iran. All right, Pimpy Guru Nader question. People are going to lose money if they change 25,000 for 25. If I get 25 dinars, that means I'm going to go to the bank. If it goes 3 to 1, that means I'm going to have only $75. Pimpy says, I told everybody that is a possibility. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I'm saying this is what people should at least be prepared for. There's a possibility they delete the zeros and then change the exchange rate. Frank 26, Iraq boots on the ground report Firefly says Alak is in the news. He's talking about the monetary reform mechanism that the CBI used to control the rate. The project to delete the 3 zeros still exists. He's saying the parallel market will come to an end soon. Frank says, oh my goodness, this is what we want to hear. This is who we want to hear it from, and this is perfect. And lastly, we have Candy Kisses and Yada says regarding the new U.S. ambassador to Iraq. Jacobson has history with Iraq, having served there back in 2006 to 2007. Her last post has been that of aiding countries recover economically. She was successful in the past in a call to steer Iraq's economy as they are on their way. Ms. Jacobson appears to be a good fit for Iraq.